Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. A lot of you guys have been bringing up in the comments about either being broken up with your partner or your ex, sorry, or you guys are like long distant, or there's a lot of breaks in between when y'all see each other. And a lot of you guys are wondering kind of if your partner cares at all as much as you do, or if they miss you. And so today we're going to kind of look at all of those questions that you guys have and put it in a video for you guys. And I've made videos like this before, but I know some of you guys are new and some people can miss certain videos. And so that's why I wanted to make this video. Let's talk about when an avoidant misses you very deeply, very dearly. And of course, it shows that they care about you and they reflect those things. Some of these will be in a bit of a more breakup perspective, but it doesn't always have to be, okay? But the very first one actually is more common with a breakup or a disconnect in the relationship. It could be after an argument, okay? So it's basically their perspective of your items, okay? So there's different ways to explain it. They may bring back items. Okay, so if you guys broke up, sometimes what avoidance will do is they will try and get rid of all of your items very quickly because they don't want to see it and it's already making them miss you. That can happen. So that's one perspective of how they treat your items, okay? The next one is if they're thinking of you, they may bring you back an item that reminds them of you. This can be if you're broken up or not. And so I'm going to give an example. Let's say they went on a trip and they saw a keychain that they think you would like. They would bring that back and give it to you. That's an example. Now, if you guys are broken up, that item might make them remember you. They might still give it to you. They might send you a picture of it, or you might not even know, but they're still thinking about you. Items are a very interesting perspective because avoidant individuals, it's kind of hard for them to know that they're missing you right away. It takes them a little bit longer because they cover up their feelings. But items are very tangible. And you can't control when you bump into some of these things, right? If you left your sweatshirt at their house, your hoodie, whatever it is, and it's at their house, maybe you guys have been broken up, they didn't really realize it was there. And when they see it, it brings them back those emotions, which is a lot of avoidants know that they struggle with this, which is why sometimes they try and get rid of your items very, very quickly. But if you guys are just dating and they're on a trip, they might remember you with the use of those items, leverage that. They may buy that for you when they come back from their trip, or they may take a picture of something that reminds them of you, or they may keep it for themselves because they're feeling close to you if they're trying to heal and nurture those wounds of missing you. So it depends. But in general, how they perceive items, that's a strong indicator of how they miss you, okay? The next one is they do try to make efforts to stay connected. If you guys are broken up, they will still try and say hi to you. They may say, how are you? They may check if you're busy. They may just watch your stories or whatever it is. They may try to talk to you outside of I don't know, normal hours. So I'm not saying like late at night, but what I'm saying is like, let's say you guys are colleagues. They might try to still take you out to lunch. Or if you guys are broken up and you should have distance, they might try to remain friends with you. This is probably the most common way that you guys see this. Avoidants are afraid they can't give you what you want. So they break up with you, but they still want to be with you. And so they try and be friends with you, but it's basically the relationship exactly. But now it's just called friends. That happens sometimes. It usually is because they just feel really pressured, but they don't want to lose you, okay? But let's say it has nothing to do with that. Let's say you guys are together, but your partner went on like a 1-week business trip. They will try and maintain contact to you through messages or calls. They may call more frequently. They may talk to you more frequently. That's very common. The next one is initiating contact in general. They may send you a TikTok video. They might send you a picture just to show that they're thinking of you, but sometimes to spark conversation, right? If maybe you guys are long distance and they're, rearranging their basement. They may take before and after pictures, or they might show you what they're doing. And so this actually helps you to understand their inner world without them being vulnerable and saying, I'm having a long day cleaning my basement, whatever it is. They're showing that to you. But sometimes it's in a way where they're just trying to say, indirectly, maybe without them even realizing it, but they're trying to say like, I do care about you. I'm thinking about you. I don't know how to say it. Some of them are even uncomfortable. If it's a fearful avoidant, they might be afraid to disturb your peace. And so they might be just sending you a picture because they're like, I miss you. And like, I'm not really sure how to cope with this feeling, but I also don't want to upset you or make you mad, or maybe you don't want to be around me. So I'm just going to send a picture just to kind of make a subtle bridge, right? That is something really common. The next one is actually sharing life events. And so the best way I would say this is updating you about their life in some ways. Okay. So if you guys are broken up and you guys don't really talk that often, but they still update you when they get a job, when they buy a new house, when they get a car, even a bad event, right? Sometimes you'll see it actually more in terms of a bad event. Interesting enough, I noticed that more with male avoidants. They might reach out more with bad events, whereas female avoidants, it's usually more good events. And I actually think that the reason why this happens is because a lot of male avoidants, they feel pressure typically as a man. They feel like they should be more vulnerable. And so they're trying to be more vulnerable by saying, hey, my car broke down, kind of like indirectly saying, hey, I'm trying. Or sometimes, especially if they're very detached, could be more common with fearful avoidance. Not very detached, but some fearful avoidance can be manipulative. Dismissive avoidance too. It's a little more common with fearful avoidance. A fearful avoidant male might say, oh, my tire broke down, because he's indirectly saying, hey, can you like feel sorry for me so you can come back and we can date again? But he doesn't want to say, hey, I feel bad that I broke your heart and I shouldn't have done that. I want to change. He doesn't want to say that. So he's kind of like saying like, look at me, I'm miserable without you. Can you, come back now? Sometimes fearful avoidants do that. And it's a little more common with males of both types because a lot of times men are a little bit more uncomfortable sharing how they feel, but they are more aware that they're not supposed to do that because men are often told when they're young, you're supposed to be open, like to a woman, not necessarily, but it's almost like you got to treat her well. So they have that knowledge where a lot of females are not taught that way. So female dismissive avoidants tend to be even more closed off from that regard. And so they might only share a positive thing, kind of like it's much less vulnerable and they're not even saying they want you back, even though that's where it's coming from, but they have less awareness of it because they're not necessarily taught, hey, you need to step up and connect with your ex. You have to take that initiation. They're not necessarily taught that way, females in general. And so with dismissive avoidance, they tend to be the most distant as an ex, a female dismissive avoidant, okay? And so these types of updates might only be positive. Hey, I got into grad school, or I'm moving to, this town. It'll be more like that, okay? I hope that made sense. It might have been a little confusing. But I also know a lot of you guys want me to differentiate gender more often. There isn't much differences. I do want you guys to know when I bring it up, that's pretty much the only time. Usually there aren't that much differences with gender unless I bring it up, okay? Verbalizing feelings is the last one, okay? Often, if you directly ask them, a lot of them might say they do miss you. Even if it's expressed a little bit apprehensive, often they might be open. They might mention they're busy, or yeah, I'm thinking of you, or yeah, I noticed your absence. They might say it more like that, or they might say, yeah, I'm eager to be home. They might not directly say, I miss you, or they might say, yeah, I've been reflecting if you guys are broken up. And so you might see things like that. So why don't we go ahead and go through all of these 5 characteristics, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so let's summarize. Their perspective of your items. Typically, they're more attached to items, or it helps them to recall their feelings a little bit easier. The next one is efforts to stay connected. The next one is initiating contact. The next one is sharing life events. And the last one is verbalizing feelings. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.